Yes, she is a bitch. B-I-C-T-H.
Hi everyone, this is Claire and today I'm going to be covering another video game. This time it will be another video game that I was somewhat associated with, Sho City. While I wasn't a voice actress in this, I was a writer back around the same time period when I was about 12 years old, and this game also holds nostalgic purpose for me. I also want to go over this video with saying that there will be discussions of problematic content, if you know what that is. So take warning if that's not your cup of tea. I will be diving quickly into this video, so without further ado, let's get into Sho City. Well, you could say we could get into the heart of the city of the gays. Okay, bad joke. So, Sho City. Similarly to High School Simulator, Sho City was a video game from the mid-2020s. In this video game, it was a Yuri where you would play as a girl and date girls across town. There was a story mode where you could pick from a variety of girls. Elk is the best girl, you can't prove me wrong. And also a version called the freeform mode where you would customize a girl to be your roommate. You would build your relationship via dates, via eating, via hide and seek, via kissing, and things like that. This is a successor to Sho City 2D, which was an app. The second version was Sho City 3D. In the app, it was quite similar, only you couldn't customize your appearance, and there was the option to play as a boy as well. Honestly, I'm so glad they got that option out. Yuri is better. It was a very fun game for me. I used to spend hours playing it on my little computer. I loved doing the little date things, I loved customizing my girlfriend, and I loved dressing up and having fun with my character overall. It was a very cute little game, if not repetitive at times, especially with the buying and selling and the job stuff that you'd have to do in order to get the money in the first place. However, I still found it to be a good, fun little game. It was more eventful than High School Simulator, that was for sure, so I really enjoyed playing it. However, there were certain aspects of the game that did not age quite as well, and I'll be going over that in the next section. If it isn't obvious, with the Yuri part of the game, Sho City was somewhat my way of figuring out my sexuality. Of course, I had very adamantly decided I was straight back then. I decided I was heterosexual, I only liked men, but there was a side of myself that I was repressing and I wanted to explore. In secret, I played the game. I had my own little girlfriend. She basically looked like a gender-swapped Light Yagami, who I had a huge crush on at the time. And she was kind of like bratty in a way, which fits the Light Yagami theme. I even named her Dawn. And she was like a tomboy as well, liked summer, that kind of stuff. Like, she's basically what you would have expected. And with her, I used to do those little kissing games a lot. I used to dress her up, and she kind of felt like a little doll for me. And yes, that's a positive thing. I felt a deep connection to her, and I kind of wanted to take care of her and the like. Almost in a similar fashion to Animal Boyfriend, except with a more, less mother-son dynamic and more girlfriend-girlfriend dynamic. However, there are things to note about the game. Other people pointed this out before, but judging by the game's art style, the game looks quite, consisting of young girls. From the clothing as well, you can see that it was designed with younger girls in mind. And when you consider the undershirt rather than the bra, there's some unfortunate implications there. This isn't really helped by the fact that the creator often retweets lolly art on his Twitter, which could be taken with a grain of salt. Maybe he just thinks that small girls are cute, but it is kind of weird looking back on it. Especially because a lot of the dialogue had to do with the girls' bodies. It almost reminds me of another anyway. There was basically a bit of a controversy involving him. with his support of a problematic creator as well, which makes him a very questionable person. He and I have actually talked before. I was about 12 years old, as I said, when I was writing for this game, which got me a free copy of the game. And he was kind of, I don't know how to put it, but he didn't seem very well socialized. We talked a bit about the game and a bit about anime and the like, but he was quite awkward and it seemed like he didn't talk to very many people. Considering he's Russian and this is a very cutesy Japanese theme game, it's safe to say he's an otaku. But how does this all hold up? So, here's the inevitable question. Does it hold up? In some ways, yes, and in some ways, as you could probably tell from the last section, no. In the ways it holds up, it has lovely little graphic style. It's very simple, but it very much revolves around the 2010s anime style, which is nostalgic for quite a few people, including me, never being those weird kid allegations. Along with cute clothing, nice buildings, and just an overall pretty and nice aesthetic. The aesthetic for the next game that the creator is making is even nicer, and I'm definitely going to check that out and give it a little review. Now, as for the music is kind of basic, just your typical little tunes, and with the lack of voice acting, it can come off as a little bland, but it's not something that I would say is too bad, especially if you don't play with audio, as a lot of people don't do. I also very much enjoyed the dating mechanic. While the food got repetitive, while the buying stuff got repetitive, while the job stuff got very tedious, I could not complete those orders. It got very annoying very fast. I very much enjoyed the chatting, the kissing, and the like. Even the hide and seek game was really fun. I also enjoyed the swimming pool and the like. Those locations were really fun. I loved the water park and even little deer park and stuff like that. So that's the positives. With the negatives, like I said, the creator is quite questionable. And while the game itself is quite repetitive, it's often an issue to see that you have to pay a lot of money to get the full game. Like $10. You can't really do anything about the money. I think he should have just made it a paid game straight up instead of doing that, because I think it's kind of, low to do that, to advertise a game as free and then do that kind of thing, which isn't too uncommon, so it's not entirely his fault, but still, it's a personal issue of mine. Otherwise, I would say that the game is pretty fun. I still enjoy playing it, and I think it's a nice little thing to play when you're just bored or you just want to talk about girls. While I do hope that there's fixes in the new game he's making, you know what I mean, I hope that this game will continue to be remembered. In conclusion, I see Shoujo City in a similar light as I see High School Simulator, a nostalgic game that I had a big part in, and that I very much enjoyed being a part of and playing in its time. Sure, while it may seem lackluster by today's standards, I'm very happy that it was a part of my teenage years, and I really hope that I can play more games like it in the future, such as the new game that's coming out. Regardless of how the creator may be, I want to continue playing his work, as I have faith in him, and I really want to see more in the future. Also, I need my Yuri.